Hey guys, I'm Kel and I'm talking to you today about a band hailing from Mexico that formed in 2016. The duo is Necroroots. These guys have released their first full-length album only this year, 2020. The 11-track album is Distorted Visions of Death, and it comprises of some pretty extreme, hateful, emotive and dark black metal music, matching the themes around pain, night, all things opaque and extremely bleak. Now, I'm going to bat on a little bit about where these guys are from. There is just so much authenticity with the black metal that's being laid down by our Latin American metal brothers and sisters, I've got to say, be it from Brazil, Colombia, and of course in this case Mexico, among so many other countries, that hail from South and Central American regions. Their sound just transcends the melancholy, resentment and disdain, and usually has a big slab of spite, so much so that you just feel it so raw through your bones. There's such aggression with this. It's like a no bullshit type of feeling to this music, that's for sure. It carries a rawness with it, and I truly enjoyed this album so much, so it goes without saying. Pretty excited about this one. This is definitely my style of wrecking black metal. The overall production to this album is quite good. However, there is some extremely dark and divine riffage going on hard here throughout this album, but it does volume-wise sit back a little bit within the production. So it's rather vocal driven, but it works. Do not get me wrong, it still works. I just wanted to feel those riffs shatter me and go through me with louder impact. And I only mention this because I bloody loved the guitar work within this entire listen. The vocal style, you will hear within this banger of an album the sound of blood, sweat and tears bestowed with angst from this vocalist. This legend puts it all on his sleeve and smashes you relentlessly with his vocal folds, and it seems to be without any remorse whatsoever. It's truly punishing. The drum track, I love percussion. These guys thump it so hard. It's got rhythm, it's got diversity, and the bass is so nice as well. I loved hearing that bass just creep through in some of these tracks. The album overall really is, a great first wave listen. It's got a first wave flow to it with touches of early 90s black metal influence in there as well. So expect subtle stimulus of early Bathory, definitely Venom in here, and also early Immortal, but they've mixed this next level conviction with their own sound, and one that's been amplified and loaded with more callousness to that of their previous EP release, which is also a killer listen, so please make sure you have a crack at that as well. Distorted Visions of Death kickstarts with an intro of eerie and unnerving ambience with the sounds of undead and tormented souls. They're just moaning in agony. And it truly was a great segue into the first killer track of the album, which is one of my favorites, the one that's playing now. It is The Pain. Mental blanked then. What a great start to a truly deadly listen overall. I absolutely loved the overall drama of this entire composition, from the heavy and rhythmic drum tracks to the enticing and melodic guitar patterns, and of course those condemning vocals. The entire track expels the pain well, and it must be listened to at maximum volume. I absolutely loved the track Transcending. It slowed this album down momentarily, yet leaves you feeling completely broken and in a dark headspace, I'm gonna say. The way the vocals are just spat throughout this track on top of those lethargic and melancholy beats created such a huge mood for me as the listener. Overall, this track delivered almost a feeling of sadness and definitely a sense of suffering, and the simple but effective melody driven by the riffage was just so really moving, very bleak and particularly dismal. It was incredible. The track almost feels inhuman and beastly at times, with the introduction to a much more guttural overtone to the screams and the scathing of the high-pitched vocal that goes on throughout this album. Ooh, it just carries power, it really does. Loved this track. Fucking love this album. All right, one more track I want to talk to you about, and then I'll shut up so you can go and have a listen to this album, is Die in My Name. Enter the pits of finality here, a feeling of all hope is gone, and one that almost felt sacrificial. The riffs take this to the pits of hell. It is so dark, it's fast, it's mean, it feels doomed and ritualistically intense. These lyrics are delivered in what couldn't be a more powerful and exhausting way. Like, I have to take my hat off to the vocalist, because it's truly just smothering, you know, like I felt exhausted after listening, but in a good way. The camera's over here, phone flipped. This really is the pivotal essence to black metal for me. You know, there's nothing nice about it. It's mean, it's filthy, it's completely raw and ominous, unintentionally emotive. I felt so much emotion through this, and it's a very loud execution of passion. It's played me, like it really is a good listen. I'm truly, truly impressed with this album. Please go and check this filthy package out for yourself. Distorted Visions of Death is on Bandcamp, of course. I'm a big fan of Bandcamp, as you know. Necroroots can be followed on Facebook. They're on Insta. Support the bands, guys. Total support. And to Necroroot, you guys are legends. I cannot wait to follow your work moving forward into the future. And thanks for the metal. I'm Kelly T. This has been my album for today.